People, what stupid rule at your work backfired beautifully. I live literally 2 minutes away from the office, so for years I was the first person on the list if the building alarm went off overnight. Back then, if we had reason to believe an alarm wasn't an actual break-in, we could tell the alarm company to hold off on calling the police. I had access to the building cameras from home, so most of the time it was easy to see it was nothing, usually the cleaning crew messing up the disarming sequence. Then, one night at a sister site, an alarm got ignored, and it turned out to be a real break-in. Management freaked out. Our facilities director, a guy named Greg, decided from that point on there was no wiggle room. Any alarm, no matter how suspicious it looked, automatically meant calling the police. Then we had to go to the building, get the all clear from the officers, and reset the alarm before leaving. It was a pain in the ass, but honestly, I didn't mind too much. Being a couple of minutes away meant I could get there quickly, and the alarm only went off occasionally. That was, until the company decided to replace all our alarm panels and sensors. The installation process was a nightmare that stretched over months. For weeks, the system was glitchy. Phantom alarms went off in the middle of the night, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times. Every time it went off, I had to go out, submit the required report, and email Greg, requesting that we go back to the old system where I could assess the alarm before summoning the police. Each time he said no. We can't afford to miss a break-in, he said. Every single time. It got to the point where I was averaging 3 alarms a week in the middle of the night. I'd get woken up at 1 a.m., drive to the building, check cameras, call the cops, wait for them to arrive, verify nothing was wrong, and then reset the alarm. By week 3, I was exhausted. I started considering moving my bed into the office parking lot. Then, luck intervened. I was due for some time off. The protocol for vacations was that if the first person on the call list didn't answer the alarm company, it would move on to the next person. Usually, that meant Greg himself. He was notoriously overworked, constantly glued to email, and didn't live anywhere near the office. On my first night off, an alarm went off at 2 a.m. I ignored the call, fully expecting Greg to scramble out there. He never answered. Alarm company escalated, but since he didn't respond either, nothing further happened. I shrugged, went back to sleep, and told myself I'd check in the next morning. Then another alarm went off the next night, and the next. Over 5 days, at least 4 alarms went off overnight, all of which would have ended up on Greg's plate. Each time, no response. I got texts from a few colleagues in the morning, joking about how the building must have been under siege and Greg just hadn't shown up. When I returned from vacation, I expected a massive pile of complaints, maybe even a formal write-up. Instead, I was greeted by laughter. Greg told me the board had decided that, for the duration of the alarm update, the building wouldn't be armed at all. We can't have anyone going crazy in the middle of the night chasing phantom alarms, he said. That was it. I couldn't believe it. For months, the rule had been no ignoring alarms, we can't risk a break-in, and in the 5 days I was gone, the system completely fell apart without me, and management was forced to admit that maybe the old rule was overkill. In the end, all those middle-of-the-night trips, reports, and wasted energy hadn't prevented anything. It had only trained me to be more efficient at following a dumb protocol. Meanwhile, the office went completely unarmed, and nothing bad happened. It became a running joke at the office. Every time the alarm went off during testing or minor glitches, someone would mutter, "Good thing MD Rabbani isn't here," or we'd be camping in the parking lot again. Greg never admitted it, but I know he learned a lesson. Sometimes overzealous rules backfire spectacularly when the people responsible for enforcing them take the day off. It's funny how much leverage comes from simply stepping away. 5 nights of ignoring alarms, and suddenly the can't risk a break-in rule completely collapsed under its own weight. It was the dumbest, most beautiful backfire I've ever witnessed, and honestly, I still smile thinking about it.